to cover, so we'll go a bit fast because we're assuming you'll just refer to it right before a shoot. It tracks texture. In this chapter, it's important to distinguish between a tracking problem and a compositing problem. Because there are two ways to composite, either to replace what's there with something completely new. Starting with a straight replace, a typical example would be a license plate, which is as simple as tracking it, unless you see a lot of the plane to track it, so we're fine to have an actor walk in front. We're also using planar tracking to pull a mat of the actor, so these kinds of shots sometimes make themselves. Or by painting it green or blue. Another huge plus to making elements green is that we'll have a much easier time finding the element's own outline. Green element finds its edge. So these are two really good reasons to use green elements as much as possible. Inside to green elements. That is a texture in itself. Plane. Or pull out tracking mark and tracking. This is the easiest track in the world. Without the markers, it would have been one of the hardest. This track problem. So again, the problem is that if the surroundings have no texture, and in those situations, we do have to put in tracking markers. Then we pull out. And then this is the easiest track in the world. Any natural looks, and then you do problem keying through reflections. What we're tracking. And anything that steps in front will get an automatic mat. So you should use green or blue when you can. The downside is that as soon as you have green elements, the cinematography has to be about that. And you can't adjust the exposure on the green element without changing everything else, which can be a deal breaker for green. This one would probably work. It's your best. But then danger of tracking the reflections instead of the surface. Fortunately, but this lets us track it. Actually, we can also creatively rearrange the stuff on the table to get it on the same plane. And track those things instead. Again, as long as they're on the same plane, they tell the computer just as much about how the insert should be moving. So now we've done the same thing without markers. But don't panic about reflections, because everyday reflections aren't overpowering and we were perfectly able to track the phone. For the outside screen as far back as really necessary 3D Windows. Finally, it's important to realize that planar
Hey, what's up, guys? माँ है तो भरोसा है, वैसे कोलगेट है तो भरोसा है.
And what I'm going to do is change the threshold to a 0%, and the party plugin doesn't really stick to the headlights. So we need to do some tracking. Now since I already have a bit, and see how it looks.
They only had lemon.
Said I wanted raspberry.
God, get it right.
Show you to film a scene during the night usually leads to that you know for Here's a shot from the intro skit to this tutorial. It's just a simple shot of me running through the forest. On the side, for convert to the left do presets panel, increase the master saturation by around 80% or so. You don't want to turn the video into black and white, but there are a number of effects parameters. If black and the bright and the right side represents the curve start displayed at will be the top right corner of the curve and next create another reduced third. Then go over to the left, this one up to at what we have so far, and at night. Curves of exactly simply from the cleanish footage and night shot. And voila, the scene looks like it was filmed at night. It really is that simple. But wait, what if I have another clip here from the intro which I already converted into a night shot using the exact method I just described. This doesn't actually look bad, but the sky in this last day, this show you how much. Delete all of the effects that are applied to the sky layer. Now, because my shirt called this new layer sky. Delete all of the effects that are applied to the sky layer. Now, because my shirt and the sky need to first mask, so grab your. You may, however, have noticed that the shot moves, and this means we shot. On your key path, accidentally include parts of your actors in the mask. There you go. I did a and avoids including a bit more natural in this place. Effects and presets extract the bright parts of the sky layer itself, which you are working with for light. With the mask, or more search for the more points to the curve. You can do to use applying a certain color across the layer, the colorize hue parameter to your liking to make sure the replaced sky matches into the rest of your footage. And there you have it, a scene that included. Hope you enjoyed this. See you later.